Hey guys, how's it going? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Dark Souls 3, the Walkthrough. Um, we just finished up with the Undead Settlement, and we are going to continue onward. I apologize for not uploading any videos lately. My life's been really busy, but we're going to try to do what we can and continue onward. I believe we got everything. I'm gonna quick go upgrade at Farron Shrine, and I'll meet you guys back up at the cliff underside bonfire. Actually, JK, we're gonna level up first. So, basically, only thing I'm gonna do for leveling up, upgrading my vitality and endurance just as much as I can. Also, going to give Ludith his kiln.
I look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set this sad cadaver.
Give him the kiln.
Belike it is a transposing kiln in thy possession. Seen better day now. Transposition is the art of extracting and transposing a twig. Thy purpose is...
So he is one of the 5 lords or linkers of the flame, and he's the only one that didn't run away. But if you'll notice, it's because he has no legs. So, you know, maybe he would if he could, but anyways, through him and the transposing kiln, you can get a bunch of weapons from boss souls. I'll kind of explain each one of them a little bit. For instance, Hollow Slayer Greatsword, it's a fantastic weapon. One of the best weapons in the game, I'd say top 10. Demon's Great Axe is decent if you put the right stats into it. Lord's Hammer is decent, especially at low levels. I did my Astor Spear run, and I don't really like spears, but it does have a cool poison effect. It doesn't really help very much, but, you know, at least it's there. And we also got the Demon's Fist, which, again, potentially can be pretty powerful. And pretty. And then you could also get Pontiff's Left Eye, which recovers HP with successive attacks. Good if you're doing a build that is centered around doing as many attacks as fast as possible. For instance, Cestus or maybe Sellsword, Twin Swords. Helps you build up that. I'm going to also check in case I have anything else. Again, I'm not going to use any of the boss souls. I'm just going to use all the souls I get from bosses to help me level up. Again, that's your choice if you want to focus on leveling or you want a certain weapon. It just depends on you.
Welcome home,
Now because of that I can get 2 more level ups. And again, straight into Vigor and Endurance.
Farewell.
Okay, here we are back at the Undead Settlement. And we're going to continue on to the next area. We already visited where we had to go to first. But we went in a different direction. It's in that tower right there. Once again, I'm just gonna quick wait for these guys to pass. Kill a few innocent hollows. Get noticed by a evangelist. Okay. Got one of the stragglers back here. And I don't think these boys are happy at me. And as we saw in the previous episode, Siegward is no longer here. Apparently neither is this thing. Huh. This has got to be a loading error, right? Oh, crap. Yep, loading error. Wait. Yeah, you want to make sure it goes up before you go onto it. So we are heading down. I need a better computer. I'm gonna fall off the edge of the map. Nope. Oh, at least you can see the next guy from here. That's nice. Very interesting. So this guy is very tough. He's a one-time spawn. And he will start approaching you as soon as you pick up the item or go near him. He's a very tough enemy, so the best idea is once you grab the item, roll past his attacks, go over to the door and open it, which will give you IV frames. It's a very interesting run, this, because everything keeps melting. I mean, anyways, he cannot go past this door, which leaves him open to attacks. And he is worth killing, so even if you don't want to kill him straight up, if you want to be like fair or something. Yeah, so just staying near that door so you can retreat, and be mindful of the frost buildup, as it will, you know, give you a little extra damage. But killing him will give you the Ethereal Straight Sword, which, being a straight sword, is going to be a pretty decent weapon, but it specifically has the ability to invoke frostbite on enemies that are weak to frostbite. It has a very cool design. I believe it's Twinkling Titanite that it uses. So, all in all, pretty decent weapon. These guys, they transform as you approach them, so being as aggressive as possible once they start is the wisest decision, because once they are fully transformed, they are very difficult to defeat. And so there's one that you just plunge there. Shriveling Stones, if you use one on a weapon that is infused, it will take away the infusion. You have a Soul of an Unknown Traveler there. And down here we have another one, but I don't think he's guarding anything. Showing you he's here, so you're aware that he's here. Don't you dare, indeed. I would not do that. That's death. There are two there. Before you attack those guys, there's no reason to attack those guys, but before you do, attack this guy, because he will be using fire and poison gas. I'm not even going to bother attacking those guys, because there's really no point other than a few souls. They're just good to go around. Anyways, once we get here, we get to one of my favorite NPCs, the Butcher Lady. You can grab this, but if you look down, you'll see her approaching. Now, there's two ways you can handle this. One, you can push her off the edge, which it's potentially easier, but it's also could be more dangerous for you. Or you could fight her outright, in which you have to sidestep her things. She will buff her weapon, which I don't know if it heals her some, but she is fun to parry if you can manage to parry it, but some of her attacks are unparryable. But what you get the parry, not so hard. But killing her will give you her weapon, the Butcher's Knife. This weapon scales with strength, and it has the unique ability that it takes, or gives you some life with each hit, especially with the buff, which it sharpens, so it does more damage and gives you like 20 health per hit or something like that. It's not a huge amount, but if you continually spam R1 with it, like any other weapon, it does get noticeable. And it's just good for healing you while you go. And it's one of those weapons that I'm pretty sure is in every single game. Going up here is not necessary either. But if you do, you can get an additional Titanite shard, which I don't need, but you can get it. And so if you need another weapon or you didn't have enough in the first place, there's an extra one right there. Now this part you need to be quick and aggressive for. First run over and kill this guy, because there's a bunch of these guys, and if they start transforming before you have a chance to start attacking them, then it's a problem for you. As like I said, they're way more aggressive than in this one than any other. And there's one of those guys that's spamming the poison and the abilities. He also has that screech which alerts all the other people to your presence, and they might transform. Luckily these guys didn't, just give me time to kill them. But there's also, you might have seen him, a red eye one up there. We'll get to him in a sec. I'm gonna do this part first. So if you go back across the bridge, you can look down off the side, and there's a little platform right there. Carefully fall down onto the platform. You'll take some damage, that's fine. You can follow the path along the underside. There's two dogs here. One of them is a unique dog found only here. I think it's that one. She has a stomach, and I think she's pregnant, but she also can bite through your shield, basically. And I'm pretty sure what just happened here is you found two dogs that were trying to raise a family in a little cave and killed them. Which is kind of sad, but they attacked first. But for your trouble, you get a Braille Divine Tome of Kareem and a Morn's Ring. Now, Morn's Ring, I believe it adds one additional slot. No, that's not it. Oh, I think it increases faith. Let me see. I want to make sure I get this right. Morn's Ring. Boost miracles, yeah, okay, so boost your miracles. It's good if you're a low-level cleric. There are better versions of it in the game, but this is the earliest one you can get. So it's definitely worth putting on if you are a low-level cleric. That was the Road of Sacrifices. Now, I believe that's the only place other than, I think, the DLC, the first DLC where you fight those Corvians.
Restorer, unkindled like you. This is Horace, a friend and travelling companion.
So,
Are you too in search of the Lords of Cinder? We are well along the Road of Sacrifices. Below us is the Crucifixion Woods. Beyond the flooded woods lies Farron Keep, home of the Undead Legion. Further yet is the Cathedral of the Deep. We seek the cathedral, home of the grim Aldrich. We may go our separate ways now, but we are both seekers of lords. The next time we cross paths, one may find the other in a time of need. May the flames guide your way.
so Henri and Horace, they have their own quest line. Henri is either a her or a him, depending on your gender. If you're a guy, she will be a girl. If she's a girl, he will be a guy. Horace never speaks. He's always a guy. And he gives you the blue sentinels. And then if you talk to her again...
Horace. He's not very talkative. But don't think ill of him. He's an upstanding, kind-hearted knight. A fine partner for this grueling journey. Without his help, I would have cursed this onerous duty long ago.
And they'll show up again later. They can help out with a couple boss fights, and you can actually help out Henri in one of hers. if you do one side of her quest line. You have multiple sides. So yeah, let's just keep going on. I'm gonna rest here in case I took any damage. I don't remember if I did that already. But we are about to enter a PvP hotspot. These are spots that players can invade other players. There's a lot of those, but there's specifically a covenant tied to this spot. So you get invaded by the watchdogs of Farron. And it makes it a really good place for a lot of people to invade you. And so it's actually very dangerous to kind of come here alone if you're online, because you'll get invaded by like two people and then you have to fight them on your own. But I'm just gonna be doing that. Do I have? I do. A good idea is to keep on the white soapstone even if you aren't planning on using it. Keeping it on you will notify you basically of anybody invades your world. And these guys, they can take a lot of damage pretty quickly if you let them, so they also have poise for days. Even like a great sword usually doesn't break them out of some of their animations. So be very careful. Watch their attacks and keep rolling. Going over here and killing these two will give you yet another Titanite shard. Again, I don't need them. I might upgrade another weapon such as a dagger or stuff. Because personally, I really like parrying. It's one of my favorite ways to attack. I haven't been doing very much of it because it's very dangerous with a medium shield. But there's some shields in the game and some other weapons that make it just a delight to parry things. All these little creatures. Ooh, I missed it. All these little bugs that I've been killing, those things. If you stand near them too long, they can poison you. So be very careful about watching which attacks they do. They have a little animation for their poison spray, but it's noticeable. It's just not very easy to see. And there are a lot of these guys hiding around the trees, so watch your back at all times when going through this area. See what I mean? Ah! Yeah, fighting two of these guys is not fun. Anyways, I still have the Twin Dragon Great Shield. It's, I believe, the lightest Great Shield in the game, which makes it pretty ideal if you like the Great Shield moveset and you don't want to spend a lot of weight on it. I mean, it's still pretty heavy. It's you know, a Great Shield, so it's not going to be light per se, but it's at least lighter than your average Great Shield. Not even sure if it has 100% fizz block, so I would never use it unless I had to for some reason, but you know, what's a shield bash? So there's a lot to this area that I could go over, but for now I'm going to skip over the vast majority of it and save it for later. I am going to do a couple things, but oh! Ow. One of these days, it's gonna kill me, this frame drop or whatever. The lag and the loading. Anyways, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna touch the summon side, and that will summon our buddy Hodrick, who we fought before. But he is a lot tougher. He's totally optional. You don't get anything except souls for killing him, so you know, be very, very wise if you want to fight him. If he manages to get a parry off on you, which will happen if he has a shield out and you're just spamming away, then you're probably gonna die because he's that powerful. See, just one hit did that to me. Don't let him get off with the worm casting. Ooh. Like I said, a tough opponent, it's one you really need to predict. He has a lot of Estus. He has 3 of them, which is more than usual. More than he had last time. Yeah, my advice when fighting this guy is just don't get hit. Come on. And this is one of those guys that you just kind of have to learn his moveset before you do anything. No, no, that. And just keep him away from that warmth. I only got hit once. It did a lot of damage, but you know, if he can combo you, he can 3-shot you easily, especially even at my vigor, which is higher than most people's at this point. Yeah, see, poise for days. So. Going down here is worth it, as you'll get another Estus shard, 1 more heal, and then if you go over here, you can pick up another Ember. Now these guys, that one in the corner won't even fight you unless you go near him, like right next to him. This guy will, as soon as you go around the corner, he'll try to get up and hit you, so just keep spamming R1. If he gets out of it, retreat, because you're probably going to die. You can kind of skirt around the fire, use it to your advantage. Oh, and I got my other Estus back, so that's good. There's a soul there, and then there's 2 ways you can go. If you drop down, which I will eventually, you can fight the crab. You could also go this way, which will deal with a lot of hollows. It's probably it depends. I mean, if you just run through, either way is fine. But I don't think there's any real interesting things over there. So I'm gonna go down here, grab the green blossom. And then if you go in here, turn immediately right, and then there's another one of these things where you just R1 spam him for days. And then you can get the Sage Ring, which boosts your, or actually it makes your spell casting time shorter, so it's decent for sorcerers. You also get the sorcerer's complete set, so that's the one you start with if you choose the sorcery class. So it's not particularly good armor, but it's light armor, you know, for sorceries. Dangerous position here. Honestly, this guy's more trouble than the mage. Yeah, so just gonna quick go around here. If you drop down here, you can follow a path all the way along. It'll take you to the other side of the Farron Woods, and you can get a shield called the Golden Falcon Shield, I believe. It's a small to medium size shield. It's pretty decent for parrying. It's really flashy. There's nothing particularly special about it other than its look. But that's what you get for going over there. If you drop down, you can get another Ring of Sacrifice. which I probably won't be using. And if you go in here, you'll get a little fella who you can kill to get a crystal gem. Infusing your weapon with a crystal gem will scale it to intelligence. So worth doing if you're a sorcerer, which I'm not, so I will not be doing. This is the way you would have come out if you went the other way with all the hollows. Again, I decided not to. If that's the way you could go to get to the next boss, there's a bunch of hollows in there. So running through is probably your best option. But if you go around and go up the stairs, you can meet Mr.
Well, this is unexpected. I don't often have visitors. What do you want? This is my study that you've happened upon. If you haven't any business, I've reading to get back to. How intriguing. You'd better not. Sorcery is not for everyone, and should never be forced. You have your own methods. Sorcery need not be one of them. Don't let it bother you. Be on your way then. You're unkindled. Shouldn't you get back to your duty?
Orbeck. I believe his name's Orbeck. I usually don't use him. But anyways, if you're a sorcerer build, he is going to be your best friend in the entire game. He's the one you give all the sorcerer tomes to, and you get the really high level sorcerers from. You need a sorcerer level of 12 to actually get him to teach you sorceries. Mine is do 9, so it's obviously not going to really work for me. But dropping down here will drop you in the room with a bunch of hollows. Hey, well, that's interesting. So, full disclosure, guys, I played this game through probably around 40 times. I'm still learning new things about this game. For instance, there's a character we met earlier named Morn. I had no idea you could summon him for this fight. But you could summon Morn for the fight. Usually I just run through this area, so I always miss him. But, yeah, you can summon Morn for the fight. That's actually really interesting. I never knew that. You learn new things every day. That's the thing I love about Dark Souls. You always are learning new things. You could play it through 40 times, still not know something about it. It's pretty amazing. Anyways, we are currently in the boss room of the Crystal Sage. Going in further in will activate the fight, but if you stand right here, nothing can hit you, and you can ready any buffs you might have. For instance, I'm going to use some of my Charcoal Pine bundle on him. He's not exactly weak to fire, but he's not resistant either, so it's a good thing to use on him. So let's just get this fight started. Now he is resistant to magic. He has a rapier that he will hit you with that can be parried. It's kind of difficult to parry it. And in the first phase, it's not too hard. He disappears, you just have to find him again, and you just keep... I got incredible RNG right there. Usually he'll teleport away if you start hitting him like that. And that drastically reduced the second form, which he usually goes into around half health. Ooh. All these blue guys, you don't need to kill them, but doing so will help you later, as they can combo you to death pretty easily. They only take one hit, like literally they have 1 damage each. and I could probably. Ooh. And if you see the reason I'm doing so poorly is because of my controller's all busted and it's making me jerk back and forth. But yeah, not too hard. For some people, like for instance, for me in the beginning when I started playing Dark Souls, he was a very difficult boss for me. The tactic I would always use is kind of a hit and run, where I would run up there, and he can hit you sometimes if you're up there, but most of his clones won't be able to. But now I find that it's easier to just stand right in the middle, and as soon as one pops up, hit it, so you're only dealing with 3 of them, and then just kind of run around and take care of all of them. Anyways, that's going to be the end of the Crystal Sage, and the end of part 1 of the Farron Woods area. In the next episode, we will get down the road to the Cathedral of the Deep and start the Cathedral of the Deep. And once we're finished that, we'll be back in the Farron Woods. But for now, we'll end it here. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked what you saw, then hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to see more as my videos come out. Thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!